Hello everyone. Today we are here with the last session of Day 2 at Women of Code Program 2022 with Arpan Garg. He is the founder and CEO of Commudle. We are here to get insights over the Commudle platform. We will have an awesome hands-on brainstorming discussion about how can we make things better and create ideas at Commudle. Arpan is an experienced business leader in EduTech and communities. He holds a bachelor's degree in electronics and communication and is well versed with Angular, React.JS and Python. He has been the organizer of Google Developers Group and has previously worked with companies like Spice Labs, Creative India and Kalpavriksh Healthcare. He is currently building Commudle, a next generation platform for communities in the modern industry area. So please welcome Arpan Garg.
Hey, hi, Rachita. Thank you so much for introducing me. Can I just share my screen alongside?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay. All right. Let me just put it into present mode. Amazing. All right. First of all, a very big thank you to the Learn for Cause team and for inviting me over here. Dhruba has been in touch with me regularly on this, and it's a great initiative that you guys are taking aboard as a team, and planning to help out people through a community. That is something very exciting, and personally also to me. Now, about today, what we're trying to look at is what happens when you want to build a tech community. But for that, if you do want to build a tech community, uh, this basically my set of slides will take you through everything that you need. And I would not say everything around the globe, but something that will help you get started fast enough, and obviously with the right tools. And we'll talk about Communal also as well, how it can help in you in your journey. And yeah, I guess let's begin. So my question is, do you want to build a tech community? If you want to build a tech community, what is it that you need? And maybe is there an example that I can share? So let's begin in brief about my journey. So why haven't I begun with my introduction, although Rachita has already given it, is because I want to take you in brief with what happened in my life, that I'm one of the people who is supporting tech communities a lot, and the kind of learning and the exposure that we get from it. So moving to the next slide. Here's a small story. In three pictures, this tells almost everything about where I am right now. The first picture, this tells about the first event that I began with. Now, I was somewhere in 2015 working alone as a developer at a tech startup, healthcare tech startup, wherein I was writing all the code. And the best part was all the code I wrote went into production. But kind of on the other side, all the code that I wrote that was not even optimized enough also went into production. What was the way of validating it? You could go online, watch YouTube videos, read a lot of blogs, and probably reach out to a lot of people online. But nothing beats, you talking to someone who is actually implementing it in person, and probably showing them some excerpts from your code on how you're building it, and taking their opinion. So I got to know about a community called as Google Developer Group New Delhi. And this is where the journey began. There were two students who were teaching a group of 75 to 80 people, which comprised of tech leads, software developers, other students, and maybe even CTOs, a couple of them. And it was fun that you could just go out and speak to anyone. This was kind of free, fun, and really interesting way of learning that anyone could plan the next session and come over and speak on it. So 2 years down the line, I was fairly active. I was giving some sessions as talks. It was a good way to learn by teaching. So this was when I got my first chance to step up into the shoes of an organizer. I organized an event, but there is a nudge that, every time I want to organize an event, there is something that I want to do different from all the events that I've done in the past. And this session, we organized a specific networking session wherein we pushed people to talk to each other, not by saying that, these 30 minutes are for talking to each other, but making them talk to each other. Tell us about yourself. Tell us a story from your life. Tell us something tech, non-tech, any interesting project, or which language did you begin programming with? After the first two people were grabbing mics to talk. Earlier, they were not even pushing each other to talk, themselves, or maybe it was just like passing the mic. Moving forward, I did some work. We formed an algorithm for managing our community in terms of registrations, and we could achieve more than 90% turn up rate for all our events. This probably got some recognition, and the DevRel team at Google was kind enough to extend an invite to Google I/O in 2018. And this was the time when, just before Google I/O, all these leaders who are selected across the globe, me being one of them, get to interact with each other. I was constantly trying to talk and collect problems from them. What kind of hurdles do they face in managing their communities? What kind of developer scenarios are there? I was constantly, just making a note in my head also and going back and writing down some of those points. So this second picture tells about Google I/O. This was the story where, I got that hunch that this thing that I built using Google Forms and Google Sheets and the way we are managing our community could be of help to more people. Fast forward to 2019. In 2018 and 19, I had coded a basic side project wherein we were utilizing it to manage our small and large sessions and also to communicate with our members, and had completely depended on it. So in 2019, I got an invite again to attend Google I/O. And this is where I presented the concept of Commudle representing India at a talk in the community lounge. This is where I was very clear that this can be something that can be of use and create impact in lives of more developers if we are able to bring them all together. But these three pictures might not do justice. Things might look that these are the three things that we did, and Commutable was born. No. Well, when I came back in 2019, it took me a year, 6 months to a year to finally come into the phase wherein I was doing this full time. What all was happening around all of these 3 years? Well, here are some more pictures. Pictures are the best way to communicate, and these are some of them. These are so many of those events wherein I talk to hundreds of people, if I would not say thousands, wherein I could collect from how could communities help them, how were they looking at community to be of help, and why were they attending a particular session, what kind of networking do they need, how have they actually made a progress, me being one person again out of those people. That too, not just as an organizer or a leader of the community, but more so looking at it from the bottom of the community, being at the root of it, wherein everyone else is a responsibility, making sure that their experience goes fine, their experience goes good. And this is basically the actual journey that was there that took place while I was trying to build Commutable as a side project. So 2019, fast forward to 2020, I left my job and I was teaching web development. I was leading the product for an edtech company, and alongside, I was having fun with community. So I finally thought that this is something that I want to do, and this is, I would say, summing up the journey in very brief. But what's next? I promise that if you want to start a tech community, these steps will get you started super fast. So the first things first, from my learning, find a purpose. When Learn for Cause is a community which you are participating with, you see that there is that cause that they have written in their name. Now, they say that there is a particular uh, motive, or there's a thing that they want to achieve, that everyone should be able to learn, and everyone should be able to learn programming and that technology that they want to teach. And it is not limited to just web development, it could be anything else. Similarly, probably another example would be Google developer groups. The purpose or the cause for which that community exists is we discuss things around the technologies which Google is building. Yes, there are additions to it, but yes, the major amount of discussions are so many amazing things which are being built by Google in open source and other ways. We basically try to educate people around it and get them to help use them. And if it helps in their career, that is amazing. So if you are going to start a tech community, let us say you are in college, and if you want to build a community around maybe learning data structures and algorithm, yes, there might be hundreds of more communities existing. There might be a lot of edtech institutes existing. which is fine. But if this is something that you think you can solve for, even if with 10 people, go for it. So you have to find a purpose. Why do you want to do this? What do you want to do, and why do you want to do this? The moment you find that, then you can start with a tech community. It might sound like, starting a startup or a company, that, that how, why, and all those things. You can say that it is like starting a company where no one has a commitment but you, the person who is leading that community. So it is you who are driving everything. It is who has found the purpose to build the community around it. And there will be times when other people are not active or are busy in their life, and you cannot expect them to commit to, take the community forward. So it is you who has to have that nudge to take it forward. But it sounds a lot difficult. It is not that much, because you're doing what you wanted to do and you're having a lot of fun. For example, a friend of mine, they started teaching Android in their college, and it was just starting maybe around 2016. And they just started with just 4 or 5 students. They were just getting together, taking permission from their teachers, and learning Android, building Android apps. Soon it spread in a couple of months, because these people got internships into Android. They were building apps, they were showing it off to friends, and it was actually helping them. So more people wanted to learn from them. And this all spread, and it became organized that every week, session on Android taken by students in a college where a particular lecture was reserved for them. And this is more like, in a college. If you talk about outside of it, let us take an example of a design community. Um, one of my friends whom I met through design communities at Google I/O, she started a community with her first session consisting of only 2 people. Like, it was her and 2 more people. And it came to a point wherein Google recognized it, and she was invited to I/O. So you can see how much an impact it can create. And those people who have actually gained that knowledge and created that network with you, that is something that you'll cherish for a long time. The network that you create through community, that is more impactful, more knowledgeable, more something that stays with you for a long time, always. Okay, moving to the next. You've decided, you've found your purpose, but you have to find the right set of tools. Some communities exist only on a chat platform. Some communities exist only through events. Some communities exist through an event and a chat platform and a website. Some communities exist only through a particular, I would say, emailing list wherein you are having newsletters. So all of these things are there. You have to find which one do you want to use. Or you can use Commudle, because we have all of these and you can choose and use whichever one. So it's tough to choose from multiple tools, or maybe use multiple tools alongside. Whereas if you have a central place wherein all your members and all your events, all your channels, or your communications, emails, newsletters, anything you need to find it at one place, that is a little difficult. Uh, yes, so Commudle allows it. And in fact, there is no price to it. All the not-for-profit and student communities, they are running for free. But again, it is all about finding the right tools. I built Commudle for solving my own problem, and I'm trying that more people can get the benefit out of it. Okay, so let us say you want to start a community just by WhatsApp. You can also do that. Or maybe you just want to do weekly sessions. People do weekly sessions using Zoom, and every Sunday they have a session. There are a couple of communities which run through Slack and using Zoom sessions. So it could be a different combination. It's just that when you want to, take members from one platform to the other, that becomes difficult. Today you are on Slack, tomorrow you shift to Discord, or day after tomorrow you also start having online events. You are taking your members from one platform to another, which gets a little difficult. Although it's not an impossible job, but still, that is what we solve with Commutable. And the most important thing, don't wait. If you found a purpose and that purpose can evolve over time, just start. Once you start, even with 2 people, 4 people attending, getting together, building something, learning something together, what happens after that is you tell people about it. They tell people about it if they are finding it useful, and it grows from there. That is how it works. The most popular, the most lively communities across the world in tech are the ones which basically have spread by word of mouth, and they are basically helping their users or helping the people or members in their community for whatever purpose that community stands for. It could be a community which is marketing a product, or it could be a community which is helping free of cost people to get jobs by teaching them DS and Algo. It could be anything. And the best thing about community is, since if you're running it for free, more and more people are actually willing to help. You could reach out to anyone on LinkedIn who's an expert at a particular technology, and a lot of them are willing to help take a session and interact with members. This way, you as a leader also create your network, and on the other side, those members who attended that session with that person also create a stronger network. But the thing is not to wait that when this will happen, when I'll get 100 registrations, then only when I start or something. Doesn't matter. It is all about the purpose that you're trying to solve. Impact is created over a period of time. All right. So how Commudle helps you? Um, okay, so this is something that there's a lot of points, but the basic point is, whenever you are starting a community, in the previous slide, I mentioned just start. So you're trying to, the initial struggle is to find the people if they're not already around you. If you're starting an online community wherein you found a purpose to solve. On Commudle, you find 31,000 developers already there. We are still growing and we'll keep on growing. Uh, and you do not need to actually go out and scout for your audience or scout for members. Here, once you start becoming active, people automatically start noticing you. And these are all software developers. So if you're a tech community leader running a tech community, so you already have 31,000 developers who might be interested in your community. There are already 150 plus communities. So if you need an initial boost, you could collaborate with any one of them. So this is a unique feature that we built, that community which is starting up. Obviously, this is a network effect. You take help from other communities. You help take help of other communities to promote your event and everything. Here, you can actually collaborate and show that community as a partner of your community. So tomorrow, if a new community is sprouting up in New Delhi NCR and they want to collaborate with GDG New Delhi, we do that. We collaborate with them. The event is there. They manage the session, so they manage whatever activities they are doing, and we try to help them by reaching out to our members. And this way, we are also sharing audience, and we are also helping them grow, and vice versa. Whenever we need their help, that is how communities work. And most importantly, for you as a developer, there is a developer profile, which is not just limited to your workplace, not just limited to what you do on Commudle. Although it shows which all talks you have given, which all communities you are a part of, which all communities you are leading, it also shows what you are doing as a developer outside of Commudle. You might be writing a blog, you might be actually writing some code, some projects, creating some libraries, doing some open source contributions. You can list them all on your profile. And that is a holistic developer profile that is visible on one platform, and other developers can follow you, connect with you. So you can actually establish yourself as a leader. And we also give out blue ticks if you're an expert in your technology. So yeah, okay. As written over here, it's custom built for developer communities and not just for communities. So we are focusing on software developers. We are focusing on helping out, impacting, and taking help of software developers, both the ways. So as I mentioned, everything you need. Uh, okay, let me go back a couple of slides. All these things which are mentioned over here, from forms, emails, chats, events, database, projects, tutorials, slides, website, and more, everything is there on Commudle, and you can choose what you want to use. So if you want to create a community that is just based on newsletters, you can just create a community on Commudle and start sending out newsletters to those people regularly. And people will keep on joining, keep on following you. If they want to sign up for your community and your newsletter, they can do that. If you want a community wherein you are doing sessions, so we have our own video platform, which also gets attendance, which also helps people to ask questions, do polls, chat with each other. All of that is built up. And if people in your community are building projects together, there's a feature called builds wherein they can actually collaborate and showcase their project, because not everything goes to product hunt, right? You are building a lot of side projects which might be useful for other people, but it is not something that you launch on product hunt. So you can come over, share it, and find more inspiring projects. And obviously, with events and with emails, there is a very important thing. How do I do live communication? So Commudle has inbuilt channels. Inbuilt channels means you can actually create forums and channels wherein you can communicate live. And what's more interesting is you can actually send an email to all these people who are a part of this channel. For example, GDG New Delhi has a channel for jobs. Then Commudle with Horizon community, we have a channel for stories where you can come back and share your stories, how you have evolved as a techie. And there are labs in which you can, as a developer, individually write tutorials on any technology, and they will reach out to more and more people through our newsletters. It goes to all the database. Okay, so let's take a quick glimpse into how does it all look like. Just a quick glimpse. Here's the homepage. Now it almost everything that Commudle has. But let's look at first a particular community. So here is an admin dashboard for GDG New Delhi. You have list of all events. You have the forms. Yes, you do not need to use Google Forms or Microsoft Forms or Typeform or anything. And then lose the data when your teammate switches out of your community or a new teammate joins in, then they are struggling to find information. All your information, all the data that you collect from your community members, it is accessible by only you as an organizer, and you can create as many forms. You can search through all your members. There's a team option, and you can obviously edit details of your community. Now, if I look at the inside of an event, there are basically the basic details options. Forms that can be attached for registrations and call for speaker form. Then there is like multiple ways of hosting it. Commutable stage is there. You have external link, YouTube, you can paste an iframe. So all these things, collaborate with other communities, add volunteers actually, and add sponsors. So this is another event that we are basically going to host next weekend. Today we hosted one. And if I talk about a live session that could have been something that people attended. So here people attended this session today, and there were polls, Q&A, chat, everything is there. You can view results. So all of this is basically built into the platform. So yeah, there was only one option for that. This has multiple options. Now, if I take you to a community called Horizon, how does it look like? On the outside, to the outside world, the details of community, all the events of the community, speakers, members, and the most important thing, channels that I talked about. So since we've just started out, we have basically, we are just starting to build. We are yet to officially launch the community. We've just started announcing it. This is how the channels look like, and different opportunities keep getting posted here. And yes, you can make the best use of being in a community. You do not need to invite your members every time to a new platform when you want them to use it. Okay, so now I'll go back. The first thing that you need to do is first go to Horizon, search for Horizon over here, and click the job. You keep on getting all the updates about what is happening, from jobs to latest tech events to any network help that you need. Everything will be available and this is a community especially for women. Okay, now I'll move back to the other slides. Let's go into the presentation mode. Okay, yes, as I mentioned, Commudle has basically introduced Horizon, which has mentorship, support, and all the resources you would need to accelerate your technical growth. And we aim to support and empower women in tech. So go ahead, if you've not joined it, you have to just click a button and it'll take you to the community. Now, the main thing, do you want to start your own tech community? I started with, how to run a tech community. Now, if you want to start your own tech community, if the answer is yes, go ahead, go to this link, fill the form, and I'll reach out to you, or someone from the team will reach out to you, and we'll understand what is the purpose of the community. Why do you want to set it up? And post that discussion, we'll set one up for you on Commudle if everything goes fine. All right. I guess this is all. And thank you so much for everything, for lending me your ear and listening patiently. Over to Rachita for any questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arpan. That was really an amazing and informative session by you, and what you shared about your journey from 2018. You talked about Commudle and Horizon. That was really informative. Yeah, we have
Amazing.
some
Thank you.
queries.
Yes, I guess Siddhant is asking, what is the importance of personal branding? Okay, so why I opened up Commudal is you see the blue tick. So some people are cited as experts. If I go to a particular profile, for example, let's go to Smile Gupta. She has this expert badge for React.JS. Now, personal branding, you going out and saying that I'm an expert at a particular technology, or I'm good at this, I'm good at that. That is very good. You should be telling people about what you're good at. But people acknowledging it is a different thing. So more and more people and other recognized brands or companies, people who acknowledge what you're doing, that creates a brand for you. And creating a brand for yourself opens up a lot of opportunities, not just for job, not just for your, I would say, if you're starting your own company, or maybe you are something of an influencer. So, for example, a company like uh, Google, Atlassian, or anyone might be looking for someone who's very active in communities. How do they get to know? Not just from the LinkedIn activity or from communal activity. Obviously, they can see how many talks anyone has given, or how many articles activity they're doing, but it is about how many people are acknowledging it. So with personal branding, you basically create a network for yourself, which is a validity authentication for you. And obviously, you are also creating a name for yourself in that particular domain, which helps you further increase the impact of the work that you're doing. So if you have a good outreach, if you're able to reach 100 people today, once your outreach becomes excellent, you might able to reach 1,000 people and impact their lives. I hope that answers.
Yeah, I think I will. So our next question is, what are the problems faced by a person to start a tech community?
Okay, I guess the problem faced. First of all, we need to understand what is the purpose of a community. So the problem faced a lot of times is trying to understand what is a community and then finding a purpose. A lot of times we think of community as something that we will use to get a lot of fame, which is not wrong. But yes, the in that thought, we a lot of times forget what is the community going to be about. Why are we building the community? So when someone is building the community, this is the first problem that you face in your own head, that you are not clear about what you're building. Once you start, then the problems that you could face is, hey, I've started it. I've been telling people to come over to my sessions or attend this, or getting people to join my Slack channel, or maybe on Commudal or anywhere. But I can't see a huge increase in the number of people. So motivation, yes, it definitely gives us a lot of motivation when a lot of people join in. But the initial problem is to get people to understand the purpose and to join your community. Plus, it should not always be, about scaling up the numbers, that my community has 10,000 people, my community has 500,000 people. If your community has 100 people and 100 of them return every week in what is happening in the community, yours is a very strong community. If you have a community of 10,000 people and you're doing some sessions every weekend or every month and not even 100 people show up, then yes, you got them to register somehow. You made them feel attracted to your community, but you were not able to keep their attention going on or retain them. So, which is the next set of problem. Once your community starts growing, how to do things which are appealing to all the members, or maybe how to do things which are appealing to a particular group, and then to a particular group, and then to a particular group. So this is how it is evolving. And more so, one on the personal side is, while running a tech community, if you're not a community professional, you are doing it from your personal time. And sometimes when there's a lot of workload from your workplace, college, or anywhere else, it becomes difficult to manage both things. So you have to find the right balance and the motivation, and sometimes, put those extra number of hours. All right, I hope that answers. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, Saurav is asking, sir, do you think community-based startups are rising in India? Okay, so I would say a lot of startups which are there are finding importance in running their own communities. Now, for community-based startups, I do not have an exact number or a very exact count or stats of how many people are running community-based startups. But yes, it has begun and it has started to rise. But it's still not, a lot of community-based startups. If you go outside of India, there's a lot of small and large-scale community supporting startups which are well funded, which are on a particular good scale, like they've reached their from pre-seed to seed or seed to Series A in terms of the scale of funding that they would have grown and the number of clients or the paid customers that they have. But yes, India, it is still growing, but I would not say that it has reached saturation or it is growing very fast. But this is a very good phase because you do not need to be a community-based startup to run a community. You need to have a product or a reason to start that community. So a lot of startups you see, everyone wants to create their own community because they see value in that and getting people to use their product. All right, thank you. Next one. How can one join Commudle community? Okay, so Commudle is, I would say, a place where there's a lot of communities. Now, if you want to join specific communities which are created by Commudle, you can just go and search for CDN. So we have CDN communities, data structures and algorithm, and Commudle Developer Network. This is more focused on generic topics from blockchain to cybersecurity to web development. And DSA is specifically for DSA. And obviously, Horizon is a community, which I've already talked about. And this is something that you can just go and click on join. And once you agree, you can join it. Okay. All right. What next? Any more questions? How to deal with problem to attract people towards our community. Interesting. Okay. So you have to make, I would say, start building and increasing your network. You have to make a strategy around it. One, you have to have a solid community, which you can say is proven in terms of that it is doing good work. For that, you have to do some activities with patients. Let us just take an example of online or offline sessions. You've been doing 10 offline sessions across the weekend, across 10 consecutive weekends, or maybe once a month or twice a month. And every month that you do, those sessions are going good. The speakers that you are getting are good, and the speakers are attracting members. What happens is, next time when you're doing a session, you can ask all of these members to spread the word across because they found value in your community last time. They will be happy to share it. And more so if you have a speaker who has a lot of branding and reach amongst people, make sure to push them, to request them, hey, can you please share this across your social media so that people join in my community, because you are the one who's going to be sharing very useful things, and I hope people will definitely find value in it. What are some methods that we can use to successfully boost engagement within a community? So I would say, don't just focus on the tech that your community is based on or on the purpose. You could do some activities outside of it. For example, in online sessions, you can do some quiz using some platforms which are real time. Or you could basically do some fun activity in terms of when people are coming over to the event, you could, or a session, or if they are a part of a channel, you could give them some homework to do. And basis that, if you have some sponsorships, you could also give them rewards, or maybe, if you're on Commudle, you can give them a badge. Or if you're not on Commudle, if you are anywhere else, you could give them some recognition, post their achievements or things that they're building on social media through your community channel, through your personal handles. And this will give them recognition. So this basically makes it a proof that this community is engaging and valuing its members. If one person is getting value, the other will be also motivated and attracted to the community. And but yes, it has to be something which is meaningful. It can be something as simple as you are on a call and everyone is playing some uh, musical or antakshari types thing, which I've never seen actually. Or it could be when in offline events, I always do this grab the finger activity wherein people are standing next to each other, and on a count of 3 to 1, everyone has to save their finger and the other person has to try to capture it. So any activity wherein people are just enjoying maybe engaging with each other or talking about themselves is something that increases the engagement. But yes, you know it has to be regular. It cannot be that 1 month the community was not doing anything, all of a sudden you come back and you expect people to have the same enthusiasm. You have to build it and keep it regular so that people come and people engage with each other. Okay, what next? How can I improve my profile? Okay. um, Simple things. Whatever profile building platforms you see, whatever fields they have, you can just work alongside for those. For example, if you have a section for internships or professional experience, so you should have some internships depending on which year you are in. um, if you have a section for projects, don't just make projects which you deploy live. So if you have a project which is deployed on www.something.com or whatever .dev .ai or anything, that makes an impact. And more so, the best thing that you can do is find a problem around yourself that you can solve with tech. And if you are solving it for one person or two people or three people, then there is a high probability that there are more people who share the same problem. So once they start using it, even if these three people start using it regularly, you can keep on improving it and you can share it with more people across, and that becomes popular. So your profile automatically improves, I would say. For example, I can say that I built Commudle when it was in a phase project. I built Commudle, which helped 10,000 people of GDG New Delhi to engage with each other, and the organizers' efficiency increased by 5 times. So if Commudal would have stopped at the phase of a side project, this is something that I could say. So similarly, you could build even a small, tic-tac-toe game in a very creative manner, and who knows, it might become viral. Okay, I applied for community manager but didn't get selected. Any other opportunity that is available in Commutable? Interesting. Okay, so see, first of all, if you didn't get selected, not getting selected and getting rejected are two different things. We are no one to reject you. Not getting selected means consider that you are um, uh, one of the people who's applied, and we have a particular size T-shirt that can't fit everyone. So we are trying to find the best fit for that person. But whomsoever it fits, we take them into the team. But that doesn't mean everyone else is a misfit or is not capable. It's just that at that current point of time, this is the best fit person. Now, to answer your question, any other opportunity that is available, we are hiring more community managers. We are looking out for one for Horizon also. So if you are interested, please do apply. And other than that, you can ping me personally anywhere on LinkedIn, on Commutable. If there is a phone number available, you could WhatsApp me, and we can talk about any more opportunities available. So we haven't rolled a lot of them out publicly. We are right now looking for referrals. But yeah, feel free to reach out, and if there is anything available, would be really, really happy to help. What are the examples of extremely simple online collaboration tools? Oh, simple Google Docs. Now, it might be complicated on the algorithm in it, but it's a very simple online collaboration tool. Or you could just look at Google Meet. WebRTC technology might be complicated, but you are collaborating with each other when you are in a particular meeting conference. Or even right now, we are streaming using StreamYard, and you are probably watching it on YouTube. So it is a collaboration tool because one person is creating and others are collaborating by giving feedback, asking questions, and making this event successful. Do you think community-based startup unicorns will be a reality one day? Fingers crossed, touch wood, everything. It's not about being a unicorn, but the impact that these communities can create is huge. So I guess it can definitely be a reality. Uh, okay, I guess my system gave up in between. It's fine. Okay, yeah, we are back. So yes, all right. Thank you so much, Shubhankar, and I'm grateful that I got this chance. And thank you, Akash, for joining in for the session.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining with this session. And I hope that everybody enjoyed the session and they got the complete clarification of the Commudle website that you actually share, the platform that you are building with the people. And we hope so that someone mentioned that it will become a next generation. Hoping for the same, sir.
Thank you.